Today we have Mr. Sankat Mochan, who is the head of human resource at Lubstar Lubricants Private Limited. Sir has having 21 years of great experience and a proven track record in multi-dimensional HR management roles across various industry. Sir, we welcome you for this. Thanks for accepting our request and giving your sparing your time. With interest of students. Students, I'm all the final year students, second year and first year students are there. My faculties are also going to join in some time. So over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Jamia. It's nice. It was 2-3 days, 4 days back when I got this information. And I was very much excited. Why I would say this? Because I believe that this session itself is going to change our perception. Unless we don't have trust onto ourselves.
Recording in progress.
We cannot make any changes into others, and even we cannot enhance ourselves. See, this topic is way to manage post-traumatic stress caused by this pandemic. Here I would like to mention, and especially today we are going to focus on to HR managers. Being in management field, what a manager should do to overcome the stress and fear and the stigma of an employer. But the overall scenario of discussion would be definitely concentrated onto HR managers. But even I will try to cover the entire society itself. Because not only a particular section of society is suffering from this pandemic. We can see the entire planet is suffering from this pandemic. So what I'm trying to say is that, friends, you please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to fly for the highest energy and the infinite inherent capacities to realize that which is inside you. There are so many reasons. I will discuss the professional reason also. I will discuss the pros and cons. I will discuss the side effect of this pandemic. But I must say, into this introductory session only, that we are talking about the physical losses. We are talking about the deaths. We are talking about the financial losses. But we are not talking about the mental health, the mental weakness, a kind of fear, a kind of insecurity, which is being generated into us and into our next generation. Today, I'm going to concentrate onto these issues. In the month of March last year, on 11th of March, first time, World Health Organization declared as a pandemic this COVID-19. And it was clearly stated by the WHO that the entire planet is suffering from this problem. You know, when first time in 2019, December, when the case was detected in Wuhan, China, and just after 1 to 2 months, you can see the fast the explosive way of this pandemic, that it captured the whole world. And in 202 countries, the disease reported just within 1 month. In 202 countries, it was reported. According to World Health Organization data, I am telling you. So what I am trying to say, there will be 4 steps we must try to understand. The first, about the disease. The second is the lockdown. The third one is its effect onto our society, onto industry, onto our financial status. And the fourth and last is how to overcome it, how to get rid of it. Maybe our elders may remember, we can see or whatever we have heard, we may believe, but this new generation is absolutely unknown for this kind of pandemic. But it has already been in the society from millions of years. It was already there in the form of SARS, in the form of HAJA, in the form of various pandemics. It happens. After every 100 years, there is a record that it has been into the society, and the humanity has fought and tried to come out of it. And again, the nature is repeating itself. It is trying to manage on its own way. So the first, second, third, and fourth pillar, as I stated, the first is this pandemic. Friends, this is a very interesting story. You try to remember just last year's picture. When there was nobody on the road. First time we heard some words like lockdown, quarantine, like this COVID-19, this sanitization and all that. First time, so many words came to us. We were surprised that what is this quarantine? What is this lockdown? Nobody was onto the road. All cinema goers, all schools, colleges, theaters, restaurants, everything was just frozen. There was nothing at all. The whole planet was stopped. Just remember that time, what were happening into the mind. Don't think of this body. I would say that still we have got confusion onto the medicines. Still we are working onto it. But one thing is there with us, and that is our mind. It was there. We were thinking. The same thing when we are in society. What is our mentality? And when we are as an employee performing for an institution or an organization, what happens to that time? Our thinking. Here we are going to discuss that. When the lockdown was slowly started unlocking, we thought that everything will slowly be managed and will come into normal. But unfortunately, it was beyond expectation. When we start getting relaxed ourselves, again it arouses. And now this is for the second time. And our doctors, intellectuals are predicting that there may be a third wave of this pandemic into the country. And that is going to especially affect the youngsters and children. What will happen? This was just an introduction of the pandemic. But now, as I said, the second thing, That is our mental health. Just think of that. Being just a person, as a family member, or as a professional. Into our professional term, we use a word called, it is infobesity. That is, remember, that is infobesity. Information's obesity. We are obsessed with the information. That is infobesity. You know what does it mean? That is social media. That is new channels and informations we are getting through the friends and society. You know, we know everything, all possible researches we have done onto Google and from all the possible means, that what this disease is all about, how strongly it influences, and what will happen to the next. That information has created a kind of stress into our mind. That is infobesity. Rather than thinking onto the prevention, we are thinking the danger extent of this disease. I hope that we all will accept this fact. That is called the infobesity. The extra information, that itself is a bigger cause of stress. The extra information. And at the same time, a person who is continuously thinking and working and gathering information of this disease, that person itself is not much aware and taking care of his safety. Wearing mask, sanitizing every time, having distance. When the matter comes of applying all these measures, safety measures, we are lacking. Unfortunately, I must say. Just gathering information, and on the other hand, not taking care of ourselves. You know, that is not simply creating stress, but at the same time, it is risking our lives. We should not forget it. The first and most important thing that we should stop, it is not our department. It's okay. We deserve to know about. We must should know about. But why we forget the first step, even the initial step? That also we should think of. The very, infant state. The just beginning. And our friends who are connected, who are listening, I must say that within 10 days of practice, we can control this once we decide. I'm going to tell you example of South Korea, of Japan, of Singapore, and the most that China itself, who is the super spreader, I should say. I don't know whether it is how much it is right. We should see them. The social distancing, we forget. We don't party, we don't do anything. We are just stressed what to do. Everyone has stopped doing everything. We are not able to do anything. But with these measures, with these practices, I will say that we will be able to save ourselves. Now I'm going to talk as a professional what HR managers should do into their organization to save their employees, to maintain the productivity, and also to increase the organizational aims and targets. Friends, this is my experience. I have not, because when this problem is there. In fact, 5, 10, 11, 12 years before also, when I was talking into institutions, when I was delivering lectures there, I always was, emphasizing on this mental health. Last time there was my lecture in the Management Institute of Technology, Ghaziabad. So I said that HR manager, this is my opinion, is the strongest bridge in between an organization and employer. Is the strongest bridge. And you won't believe, I feel that this is a kind of challenging opportunity for HR managers, especially. Not simply to overcome the stresses of their employees, but also to bring their organization out of this crisis, where the employer are stressed, where the employees are stressed. There is a social stigma. There is a fear of isolation. There is insecurity of job. At the same time, employer is thinking of layoff, is thinking of cutting, terminations, sending leaves, employees sending their employees on to leaves. In this situation, only HR manager is the bridge who can balance and can maintain both organization and their employees. Now this is the time of examination. This is time to prove your professional quality. And remember, we are professionals. Professional means when a doctor is operating a patient, his hand should not shake. This is the professional etiquette. My friends, when you go into the society, when you will go into organization, when you will become a professional, now you are a student. That time, this lesson you should remember. Now, this is the time when your hand should not shake. You have to think from both point of views. The employers are struggling with the biggest financial crisis. As I said, all institutions, all schools, cinemas, restaurants, all that financial activities, tourism sector, everything was collapsed last year. Fortunately, this time, yes, there is pandemic, there is lockdown everywhere, but still we have got the courage and India is doing well. Great. Into this session after 5-10 minutes, I will give you some practical sessions also. This is not just I'm saying and everybody is listening, or I will say something and after disconnecting, we will forget everything. My session is not like that. Sorry. You all will have to participate with me. I'm going to demonstrate something and everyone will have to do that with me. I'm requesting. I believe that we will do. I firmly believe that after completion of this session, you should have something in your mind to think that this challenge is not going to shake us. We have a lot more to do. We have a lot more to go ahead and achieve. Now, coming to the point, HR manager, there are 3-4 things into the organization, what he has to do. It's okay. There are teleworking, work from home, and all these concepts are there. But 3-4 very important things, the technical aspects which every manager has to follow, implement into his organization. This is my experience. The first, again, I will say, social support to your employees, especially to whom. See, everybody's mental level is not same. Someone has the poor capacity. Somebody is having the overwhelming capacity. He will say, yes, I do everything. I will have that. No, not wearing mask and moving around. Those who are especially staying inside that organization's premises, They are overconfident that nothing will happen to me. Hey, this is all, I don't believe. You may say that people sometimes, they will say like that. Or there are some employees who are very much feared. Oh my God, what will happen if I will suffer? Nobody is there of my family. Who will take care of them? If my employer is going to remove me, what will happen? What happens if I will suffer, if I die? Nothing is going to happen. But because there is a lockdown, they are not going out. They are not doing anything. They are at home. So keep on surfing. As I said, the info obesity, that time the managers should come forward. That is called the social support. But remember, don't shake your hands. Be professional. Don't be emotional. There is a difference. Don't be emotional. If a doctor himself will start crying, how I should operate? He is very cute patient. He will have to tear and he will have to use the knife. He will have to use scissor, everything to bring out the dirt from the body. Likewise, a professional, as a professional, the manager should not get emotional. He will have to be professional, means you should have the capacity to bring your employee out from the frame, the thinking of his mind, the mental status. We need to bring him out from that. How? The social support. Create an environment. Make a virtual calls every day. Have a small meeting. No issue. They are at home. At least you should have a smiling face. Yes, boys, what's up? You tell them, encourage them. You make them feel that, yes, the organization is there with them. We are not going to expend a single penny just by saying this. But this statement will give a strongest boost to your employer, I'm telling you. I'm doing with this, my employees. I have got, surprisingly, because I'm into this sector. So we have got employees into every state and every, I should say, district of the country. More than 300-400 of employees are there around. And I make call twice, thrice in a week. Even I myself sit with them, talk with them. I support, yes, we are with you. Don't worry. Sorry. I tell them that I'm with you. The organization with you. You're not going to lose your job. What all you will have to do is, you will have to be innovative. This is not for manager. Manager is convincing to his employee to be innovative, be creative, and try to find out the way how you will be even more productive in this crisis situation also while you are working from your home. That is the lesson a manager should transmit into his employee. Remember, I'm using word transmit this. We have to transmit this feeling, this thought. That is the professional attitude. This is the social support we have to give. It is not just virtual call. When you will address your employees every day in the morning just for 15 minutes, it will give them a biggest, strongest backup and boost into their mind that, yes, my boss is there with me. I will tell them not to worry. Where there is will, there is way. We need to encourage our employees. The social support. Then, the small thing. Simply try to redefine your leave policies. Remember, your leave policies. Hey, no, I'll not give you. Sometimes, we know that he is not suffering. Sometimes somebody will come that my taste artisan, whatever these tastes are, it is good, but sometimes if they cough, there will be fear, oh my God. Am I all right? So that time, you should redefine the sick leave policy. Remember, it is not that he's suffering. He has got physical element. He's suffering from this COVID-19. No. To bring him out of that fear, you should give him some passage. I will talk about the employer also. This is just for employees. We have to give them some passage. Redefine your leave policies. Earlier, when things were normal, if somebody were coming to you, you could have said many times that yet, or you might have been given that instruction. No, don't go. I'm not going to grant your leave. No, you are looking well. I'll not give you leave. But this time, it's okay. If you feel uncomfortable, you please stay at home. No issue. Don't come. But if you are feeling comfortable, don't worry. You are not suffering. You please try to hold your breath. Come on, check it out. Hold it for 20 seconds and all that. You should say that. Are you smelling? Can you taste anything? You should say like, are you all right? Don't worry. Nothing is happening to you, but okay. You can take one day rest. No problem. Next morning, from your side, just you initiate and call him back. Are you all right? I told you, no, nothing is happening. Come on. Now start. Otherwise, what else we can do? Is there anything? These are the only techniques through which we can manage things. Leave policies. Don't be so rude. Don't be so hard. Everybody needs emotional support. Have social support. Encourage the teleworking. Remember, this time still the pandemic is going on. I'm saying, as per my experience, whatever the drop of nectar is there into my mind, I must say that this pandemic is going to change the entire perception and way of doing things. Everything will be changed. The style of working of the planet will be changed. Even it is changing, it has changed. Now we are talking like this. Thousands are us together now, but no one can see anyone. This is what the pandemic is all about. It is changing. Things are changing. As a team leader, as a professional, as a guide, it is our responsibility to make these changes digestible into the society amongst the employee. The employer also should not have that feeling of fear of financial loss. Don't make your employees stressed. Then only you can make them productive. It's okay. The entire world is looking after for remdesivir, oxygen cylinder, and everything. I must say, the mental health is very much important. Stress sometimes is good. I encourage my employee. You should have stress. You should have tension. You should have pressure. But, this is our human mind. If someone else is giving me pressure, I will not accept. Why should I accept your pressure? It is human nature. We don't accept. As a manager, we have to create this feeling that the employee should set his own target that he has to achieve. Let them have his own pressure into his mind. This is mine. Unless the student himself will not think of getting 95%, how can we pressurize? Our pressure, the parents' pressure will create stress. The student himself will have to mentally prepare that, yes, whatever is going to happen, no issue. I will not stop unless I'm going to achieve 95% and more than that. That feeling we have to create into employees. We will get the return. I have got the return into my company. I have got the production. I have got the remarkable turnover. We paid the entire salary during lockdown. Even the ground level workers were there. We kept them with us. We said that, don't worry, you will get the total salary. We paid them. But after lockdown into 2020, June, July, when they started working, we made the remarkable production into our company, I'm telling you. We were having 155, 60 distributors into the country. And we have got 230, 35 distributors into the country. This is my company's achievement. And employer need not to worry if employees are dedicated. And this is manager's responsibility to make them like that. Now, I'm going to talk about what a manager can do for their employee. First of all, the employee himself will have to think that, yes, as I said, unless the student is not setting his target, he is not going to achieve 95% or more than that. Being a professional, we can create an atmosphere around you. Like a parent, they can give you pencil, paper, pen, books, notebooks, library, school, tuition, whatever the resources you need, we can give. But you will have to perform, remember. Likewise, the insecurity, fear of job, losing your job, fear of getting infected, fear of quarantine and all that, going somewhere and what will happen if I'll get quarantined. You know that this quarantine itself, maybe it's a very small word. Maybe we will not take it seriously, but it's a human psychology, I'm telling you. It creates a kind of, there was a study into United States last year, and it was found that Dr. Goldberg was there into that study. I'll have that presentation, and later on I'll pass it to the institution. It can be given to students. That is my own written article onto that. I'll pass it on after this session. It was written there that this quarantine word, it gives the feeling of imprisonment. Like I'm in jail. It gives that feeling. That feeling comes. Last time it was there. This time it is less. Some states have issued that order that if you have 2-dose vaccination certificate and if you have got that negative report and everything, you can travel around. But those who don't have, you will have to go for quarantine for 14 days. I'm sending my employees somewhere into another state. I tell them that you go and have some job done. What will happen? Maybe I'm not thinking, I'm aware of that state's policy and rules and everything. I know they will not quarantine. I know nothing will happen to him. I'm sending him. But you just think from his point of view, he has got the fear that what will happen if I'm coming out of the train onto platform. Somebody is just coming in, holding my hands, telling me, just come out. You will have to stay there into government facility for 14 days. That itself gives a feeling of imprisonment. This is stress. The second, if someone phones into your neighbor, in my company, if somebody is suffering, one of my accountant was suffering last time. He said, sir, nobody is talking to me. Nobody is calling me. Feeling of isolation. Sometimes it may go up to suicidal tendency. when the family members are leaving their dear and dear ones. If somebody is suffering, no one go to him, no one talks to him. What will happen if my employer is suffering? This fear of quarantine, fear of isolation, fear of negligency of the society, hatredness. Being a professional, it is our responsibility to bring our people out of it. Give them the mental stamina, the mental guts. Nothing is going to happen. I'm telling you, nothing is going to happen. I have made more than 55, 60 journeys within last 1 month, 1 year. One thing, remember, you will have to do. Keep yourself first mentally healthy. Practice some practices how to keep yourself mentally healthy. I'm going to demonstrate, and I hope that we all will practice this. Second, very small, always wear mask. I'm having my mask. Into this room, nobody is here with me. This is very common practice. Very common practice. Have some good quality of mask, reusable mask, or the surgical one, the best one. Keep on changing. Sanitize your hands every time. Maintain the distance. Smile. And remember, nothing is going to happen. The Almighty is there with you. Why to stop your performance? Why not to do? As a manager, have the virtual meeting every day in the morning and keep on convincing. At the same time, report to your employer that, sir, I'm connected with all my colleagues, all my subordinates. I'm passing this message. You give them him report. You give your everyday report to your employer that says, see, I have made these calls. I have done this one. Someone that those of that employee is doing this one. He has made this much of business. That daily activity report, daily sales report, daily production report, daily performance report, the metrics one, everything you prepare every day, even if it is not needed. And pass the same to your employer. You keep on giving. He should think that the activities are going on. You keep on giving. You will have to think of his mental state also. And you are only the bridge. Now, the last but most important one, I'm going to conclude this with this thing. This will take another few minutes. That this is for employee, for the manager and employer, for everyone, that there is a philosophy into English, that Western social work. I was social work student into my graduations. So that time I learned this. It's called Western social work philosophy. Is if somebody wants to eat fish, how you will help him? What you will do? If somebody he loves fish, he wants to eat fish. You don't want him to give fish. Remember, as I said in the beginning, your hand should not shake. Don't be emotional, be professional. If you give him fish, he will keep on asking every time, every day, sir. Yesterday it was very good, please, sir. Give me a small one. Every day he will come to you. This is not social work philosophy. What you will have to do is, you help the people to help themselves. You give him a net, take him to the river, demonstrate. You tell him, see, you do like this, just pull it back, you will get fishes. how to catch it. You need to teach that. You help him, that he should help himself. So before helping to your employer or to your employer, as a manager, what you will have to do is you will have to help yourself. Remember, it is not like the manager himself should get stressed how he will teach others. It's very interesting. Then he will think of the frontline workers. Think of them. Last year, our Prime Minister done what I was very much impressed with, that there was pouring flowers onto them and that making everything in respect of. It's okay. I'm not going to that. But what I will say is that think of that frontline workers. Think of our ambulance drivers. This time the fear has reduced, but last time it was up to up to its maximum. People were not going into that house where the patient is there. The entire body covered with the PPE kit, 2-3 layers of mask, gloves, helmet, everything was there, fully covered. And still there is a fear. Family, every members were saying not to do this business, leave it. Why you are driving ambulance and carrying bodies and patients every day? When coming back home, not going with kids, stay away. You remove that, sanitize yourself, have bath 2-3 times, 4 times, whatever. Then only you can come inside and be isolated, stay in another room. Nobody will go to you. Think of those frontline workers, how strong they are. Many of them lost their lives. The doctors, the nurses, 24/7, just standing onto their toe, serving for the humanity. This is the time when we all need to come together and think of our mental level. Remember, we have got the capacity to fight with any kind of problem if we are mentally strong. Otherwise, tell me what option you have remains. What option remains except surrendering yourself? There is only one option. If you are mentally strong, you cannot simply prevent yourself, but being a manager, then only you will be able to prevent your employees and your company also. This is the biggest time. And I tell you, the very, very important line, that as a manager, we have to behave like a soldier. We have to behave like a warrior. We are there to protect, to grow the nation's economy. We are there to save the employment of the country. We are there to save their families. We are there to save the humanity, to save this planet. As a professional, we have to have this pledge that until and unless I'm there, nothing is going to happen to anybody. We have to behave like a frontline workers into our company. That is very much important. My boss, my employer should be proud onto myself that yes, this is the man. Why not? We should get out of that man. Come out of this thinking. This is the time even to prove yourself. Don't think that we cannot do anything. Remember last time it was announced just 1 or 1.5 months before that medical last year students, final year students will also come out and they will serve. They were also being appointed onto duty. How fortunate they are. I think they are fortunate they have got the chance to serve for the humanity. This is how we are also fortunate. We need to recognize ourselves. We need to identify our capacities. Remember those days classes we were being taught by professors. This is time to prove ourselves. Things should not be kept into books only. We need to bring them out and implement them now. If not now, there will be never. Now things are going out of our hand. This is only the time when we will have to come. We need to come. We must should come out. We should prove our best. Don't worry. Nothing is going to happen. I will say, remember the one thing. First, very important. Some small practices I will say, and then I will conclude it. The first, that as a manager, we will have to also, as I said, we will have to also improve this level should also not get down. Our mental state should also not get weakened. So some small practices here I'm going to tell you, and then I will give you some more important tips and we will just conclude it. The first important is very small. The breathing practice. Every time. The manager himself will have to practice. He needs, even maybe, I don't think it is funny. It is very important and it's interesting. I do this into my virtual. I was last time when I was into JSW Steel. I was practicing there. I started there first time that this meditation practices at the shop floors. Everywhere in all departments, it was compulsory that everyone has to go for 20 minutes of session. Then only they will go to their respective workplace. And here also I do this into this my present company. I was doing it. I have done into many schools, renowned institutions. Now I'm going to share it with you. You all will enjoy. Just spare only 15 minutes of time every day. 15 minutes, remember, 15 minutes of time. First, for your mental. And remember the 4 mantra. If possible, you try to write it down. Very important. For any kind of problem. This is the key to save yourself from this disease. The first, as I said, and from the beginning, I'm just chanting your mental thinking, your stress level. You should be calm and quiet your mind, healthy mind. The first, your stress. The second technique to prevent yourself from this problem, the second is your diet. Friends, it is very much important, your diet. Don't think that these non-vegetarians will help you. It is not going to help you. It gives more congestion into lungs. The animal fat, the animal cholesterol. When you eat that, when it moves inside, it creates more and more cough and mucus. And it creates more congestion into your lungs. And the spread will be even faster. The more you have that cholesterol, the faster you will suffer. So for cleansing, you need to take alkalines, antioxidants, vitamin C's, proteins, and nutritional foods. And that is the veggies, the fruits, and the lentils, the dal. Like in Kannada, we say that hesare bede. That is hesare kalu, not the bede, the kalu one, the whole one. That is somebody should rectify me if I'm wrong. I don't think this is what to say this. That moong dal. That is the best one. You take that every day. The first, your stress level. The second, your diet should be healthy. I'm not a dietitian. The infobesity, you can go onto internet and you can find out the healthy diet. The third one is the most important, your lifestyle. Remember, very important, your lifestyle. When you are sleeping, going to bed in the evening, at night, when you are getting up in the morning. Now this is time to forget all those previous activities. Nature is not going to compromise. You can see this. Things are changing. How we are conducting these meetings. Likewise, we have to have some changes into our lifestyle too. Your lifestyle should be changed. What is the ideal lifestyle? We all are knowing. I don't need to speak much onto that. But I will give you a glance of all these four. And the four, and very important, the most important, friends, you are youngsters who are connected with me, who are listening. I'm begging this, you can say. I'm requesting you, don't go for any kind of addiction. Smoking, drinking, any kind of addiction. Remember, there is no shortcut. And there is no retake into human life. Once we die, we will die forever. A person who has this curly hair, stylish hair, who takes selfie, who wears this stylish dresses, who rides bikes, waving onto road, gliding onto road. So many people are running behind whom? That person will go away forever and will not return at all. Once the nature will get angry. This is time to awake yourself. Remember Vivekananda's quote, arise, awake, and stop not till the world is just. Utishtha, jagrata, prapya, varam nigodhata. This is time to think of that. The first, your stress level. The second, your diet. The third, your lifestyle. And the fourth, any kind of addiction. There is no excuse. Even taking too much of coffee is also dangerous for health. You don't need once, twice, even thrice in a day. It's okay. Every time after every 30 minutes, you keep on taking. Now there are no medicines of these diseases. Even the new one, this black and white fungus, it's horrible. Your diet, don't compromise. I don't understand what is the cheat meal. This is for the first time I heard. So many of them, they are going to gym, they are going to exercise, yoga every day. They said there is a cheat meal. What is cheat meal? It cheats your life. Come on, man. It cheats your life. Don't go for that cheat meal. Please, have nutritious food. Have you ever seen the cow, the rabbit, the goat? They are going for cheat meal. Today we will have pizza. Nature have decided some diet for us. We must should be natural. Don't act beyond nature. Don't go beyond nature. Don't do anything beyond nature. Be natural, please. That nature will only save you. Have nice food. And lifestyle means not simply sleeping on time and rising, getting up, morning in that time. That lifestyle means, the healthy lifestyle means having the excellent relationship with the family member. Having the smiling relationship with mama, dada, with your sisters, with your brothers, with your friends. Having at least something for the humanity. I think this is much more to teach us. We should not wait for the more horrible. And the most important, this is the time to even fight back with this pandemic. Don't let your mental level come down. Make it onto the top that whatever is going to happen, I don't fear. Karyam siddhayami va shariram patayami. I will either achieve my target or I'm going to lose my life, but I will not stop. I will not stop. How this strength will come? This will only come when you practice meditation every day in the morning for 15 minutes. Meditation, some breathing exercises. And last, very important, it gives the strength, it enhances the capacity, and it gives the infinite power to your lungs. That is the laughter exercise. Let other things that you are mad, no issue. Let them think, yes, I am mad. But at least spare some time in the morning every day, just for 1 or 2 minutes, and have a loud laughter. Sit with either your family members. If there is lockdown into your area, please don't go outside. But have the laughter exercise. Loudly, take full breathing inside, inhale completely. Hold your breath and just loudly laugh and think that all the problems, stresses and tensions and whatever the difficulties are there, it is vanishing away, going away. I'm throwing it out. I'm completely healthy. I am the best. That kind of confidence you should have, friends. And last, I will say only one thing. That जहर के असरदार होने से कुछ नहीं होता. जहर के असरदार होने से कुछ नहीं होता. खुदा भी राजी होना चाहिए मौत देने के लिए. जहर के असरदार होने से कुछ नहीं होता. खुदा भी राजी होना चाहिए मौत देने के लिए. Don't worry, nothing is going to happen. Be honest with your duty. Be honest with your responsibility. Be honest with your family. Be honest with your health. Be honest with your lifestyle. Nobody is going to do anything to you. We are all safe. This is all for today. I think you all enjoyed it. Thank you.